On Oak Island, brothers Rick and Marty Lagina and their group are starting a morning of unparalleled hope. Thus, the north corner of Shaft 6 is being demolished. They have strong grounds to think that the remains of a 19th century searcher shaft discovered in the famed Money Pit region will provide the solution to a 230-year-old riddle. Therefore, that's most likely what the beams we're seeing are. Steve, we ought to capture a portion of the tube that leads from Shaft 6 to the Money Pit at the bottom of this hole. Thus, a lot of wood should be visible. Rick, we're searching for the object that was in the shaft or tunnel, but that would be the hope. Steve, indeed. Yes, 1, 2, or 100 coins. Even a portion of a real chest. Anything. Yes, members of the Oak Island Association are said to have dug through 2 stacked treasure chests at a depth of almost 110 feet in the original Money Pit during the summer of 1861. They excavated Shaft 6, a neighboring shaft 18 feet to the west, down to a depth of 118 feet because they thought a man-made flood tunnel would prevent them from getting to the chest. In an attempt to get the treasure from beneath the lethal booby trap, they then started burrowing toward the Money Pit. The enormous endeavor was unsuccessful. Seawater rushed in just as they were about to hit their target. In addition to forcing the searchers to leave Shaft 6, the catastrophe resulted in the fall of tons of lumber and the suspected chests in the Money Pit, leaving a rubble field and the treasures interred inside the tunnel. Gary, it's still coming up with all that ancient timber. A pipe stem that was dated to as early as the late 17th century, more than a century before the Money Pit was discovered, and iron straps that might have been connected to wooden containers were among the evidence of the Shaft 6 tunnel that the team discovered a week ago while excavating RP1, a 7-foot diameter shaft. In the hopes of recovering the contents of the 2 fabled treasure chests, the crew is currently excavating a second shaft, designated RP2, close to the northeast of RP1. Marty, is there a certain amount of excitement present? Alex, hello. We are. We're prepared. It will arrive. It's under construction. Come on. Narrator, after learning that the RP2 caisson has descended to a depth of 105 feet, just 13 feet from where they intend to intersect the Shaft 6 tunnel, Rick has joined his brother Marty and other Oak Island team members in the Money Pit region. Nothing we observed today points to the story being inaccurate in any manner, shape, or form, so I don't see any reason not to be quite hopeful. Alright, is anyone in? I agree. A shovel. Gary. Indeed. Terry. Everyone is on board. Marty. Everyone is on board. Rick. The tunnel is drawing near. Without a doubt, it falls between 112 and 120. Gary. That appears to be old lumber, don't you think? A few large bits. Rick. However, at this moment, I lack the one item that would confirm the treasure's authenticity, and that one item is crucial to me. Terry. Whoa, take a look at that. Rick. That's fantastic. Marty. What is that? A large piece of wood? Adze cut. Wood adze cut? Before automated saws were created in the late 18th century, an adze was a common cutting tool in building. Could this wood, like the wooden dowel that was previously discovered, have originated from the original Money Pit if it was in fact shaped with an adze? Gary. Well, take a look. Take a look at that. Alex. Indeed. Can you see the edge line? Alex. Indeed. Similar to a barrel. Do you think it could be a barrel? Yes, it's a barrel. Alex. Indeed. A barrel, Stave? A barrel. Terry. A barrel, that. Gary. Indeed. Terry. That appears to be a barrel, Stave, Rick. Rick. Indeed. Whoa. They took something out of the original Money Pit, like the top of a keg, didn't they? Rick. Indeed. Terry. Definite. A miner salvaged the top of a wooden keg, or barrel, shortly before he was killed during the disastrous collapse of the original Money Pit in 1861, which is thought to have left a field of wood debris and strewn wealth in the Shaft 6 tunnel. This has prompted many to hypothesize that the Money Pit might have held barrels full of potential riches in addition to the 2 piled chests. That's really awesome. Terry. Definitely. Very, very cool. Yes, that is a fantastic fit for the story. Yes, barrels of food and water weren't the only things there. Coins were once placed in barrels. Yes, this is good. Indeed, this is excellent. Lee. Slicing through a difficult object? Jared. You're having trouble? Lee. The value increased from 130 to 160. The oscillator's pressure simply changed. With the enclosing teeth, we are around 116 feet away. The pressure is increasing. What does that signify? They're chopping into something more difficult, though. Therefore, it might be something we don't understand. Gary. Entering. Now, the question is, might it be something extremely valuable or significant? Marty. That appears to be the bottom. Gary. Certainly. Whoa, this place is quiet and empty. Oh no. Gary. I believe the line is at its end. Rick. It's so thick. Things are beginning to go into situ. Terry, there is undoubtedly more in place. There aren't any large pieces on the bottom. Number, regretfully, it appears that we will be leaving her. Where is the currency? It's definitely not here. Number, it appears to be petering out. It's all about Gary, forget about me. If he doesn't find it, you know. Yes, Terry. Well, in terms of geology, we're going into in situ. Rick, indeed. And I believe we're done. Terry, we are indeed. One concerning trend is the recovery of in situ soils. The team is currently excavating through undisturbed ground under their target region, which most likely indicates that the obstacle in RP2 was only the bottom of the Shaft 6 tube. Vanessa, I did inform Rick earlier that we believed you were removing your pressures and cutting through wood, but you later stated that the pressures had changed once more. Can you bring him up to speed then? Lee, I was cutting at a fairly low rate of 120 to 130. Vanessa, do you believe you've reached the end? Yes, I believe we're done. This material is simply extremely hard. Yes, it's dry. That doesn't sit well with the teeth. Rick, indeed. Right now, I simply believe we're in situ soil. Therefore, I believe we must make a call. Yes, right now it's obvious that we're on Shaft 6. The next can across the tunnel must be correctly located. At that point, either something is present or it is not. All right. Okay, so we have another chance to try this location. Correct. You must persevere. You simply must persevere. Elaine, I'm not going to give up. All right. Okay, the next one? John? Thank you. Rick, what we discovered in RP1 undoubtedly persuaded me, and I believe everyone else, that a major collapse had occurred. We discovered evidence of many constructions in RP2. It had an effect. The barrel, stave, and keg were located. Expectations skyrocketed as a result. Regretfully, they weren't born. We are optimistic about the next can location. As Gary puts it, you get caught in your boots, hitch them up, and proceed. Therefore, in addition to delivering awful news, I also have possibly wonderful news to share. All right, you shared wonderful news. Terry, indeed. Rick, wonderful news. All right, in my opinion. Yes, laughs. All right, unfortunately, we're done here, which is the bad news, but in my opinion, we've validated the story. There is no way for me to dispute that. You usually say that, don't you? Let's make something X-shaped. All right, let's give Shaft 6 a bad X. I'm going to venture that you would like to try this one more time. Yes, I do. Let's set up over the tunnel, please. It is essential, all right? Does anyone disagree? Not at all. We simply didn't see it. Marty, it's clear that we're not finished. Perhaps if we move one stage closer between Shaft 6 and the money pit, we might discover something if RP2 halfway down the tunnel shows traces of original money pit items but no treasure. And I wholeheartedly support Rick's desire to achieve that.